Hey guys, and welcome back. So in this lesson we're going to discuss data types. So what are data types? When we write code in JavaScript, we deal a lot with data, and this data can come in many different forms, known as data types. So before we begin diving into what these data types are, let's create a file over here. So in the Explorer section, we can either double click on the panel, or we can click the icon here with the plus, which will create a new file. Then in here we can type the name of our file. So I'm going to create one called script with the extension JS, which stands for JavaScript. Now this will create a file for us that's in the JavaScript format. So some of the most common data types that exist in JavaScript are numbers. So a number is basically a whole number, and it can also be a decimal number. We have strings. Now a string is a group of characters such as letters, numbers, spaces, symbols, and a string must be surrounded with single quotes or double quotes. It cannot be on its own without. So for example, double quoted string is hello world. It can be a single word, hi. It can be in single quotes, hello world again. It can contain symbols and characters. Now another data type is what's known as a Boolean. Now Boolean can have only two possible values, that's all. And these values are true or false. Booleans are mainly used with conditional statements which allow for different actions to occur depending on the value, whether it's true or false. So for example, if we were to check if my name was Robbie, it would return the true value. But if we were to check if my name was something else, like John, well, then it will return the false value. Now another data type is a null data type. And a null data type is used to intentionally add no value. And this is used in particular situations which we'll see later on. Another data type is an undefined data type. And an undefined data type is very similar to the null data type, except that it's most likely created unintentionally. So for example, we've made an error in our code. Say we didn't define a value, well then it will return the undefined data type. Now last but not least, we have the object data type. Now the object data type is basically a collection of related data, and it can hold a number of different data types such as these we mentioned above, the numbers, strings, booleans, and so on. Every object starts with curly braces, and inside it has key value pairs. So when I say key, it could have a name key, then we have a colon, and then we have the value, which we could do Robbie. So key value pairs. And inside it we can have multiple key value pairs. And we can even have objects inside of objects. So they can be very complex. In the next lessons, we're going to dive into some of these fundamental data types, and we'll get you familiar with each one.